Hey friends, imagine living with a disability, already fighting every day to just manage basic needs, and then hearing that your government might take away the little support you rely on to survive. This just happened in the UK. But something surprising followed, a full U-turn by the government, after pressure not just from opposition parties, but from inside their own ruling party. What caused this rebellion? Why did the UK government suddenly step back from a major policy they had already announced? And what does this say about where things are heading in the UK and beyond? If this kind of deep dive interests you, where we explore not just the news but the forces and emotions behind it, then make sure to subscribe to Mr. America and join this journey of digging deeper than headlines. Let's dive into this quietly explosive story. At the center of this whole situation is one uncomfortable, politically charged question. Who deserves government help and who doesn't? That's what was silently asked when UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's government hinted at cutting disability benefits, specifically personal independence payments, PIP. PIP is not a handout. It's financial support for people with long-term physical or mental conditions, used for daily living, transport, and essentials. Almost 3.5 million people in the UK rely on it. But the government was now suggesting some of these people might not actually need this money anymore. Why? Because according to them, with the rise of remote work, digital access and home care, many disabled individuals are now more independent. Think about that for a second. The very tools that help people barely get by are now being used as an excuse to take their support away. This proposal didn't land quietly. It sparked rage. On paper, the government said this was about reforming a broken welfare system. But behind the scenes, it looked more like a political strategy. Here's the deeper context. The UK economy is struggling. Public debt is at £2.7 trillion, around 100% of GDP, and a general election is approaching, most likely later this year. The Conservative Party, which has been in power for over a decade, is losing popularity fast. Polls show them trailing behind the Labour Party. So what do governments sometimes do in desperate times? They start targeting easy scapegoats to look tough and save money. In this case, the disabled community, especially those with invisible or mental health conditions, became the soft target. Have you ever seen a government use a cost-saving excuse to push something much deeper and more political? Comment below what that was, in your country or elsewhere. Here's where things get unexpectedly intense. It wasn't just the public who pushed back. Even Conservative MPs, yes, the government's own party members, started rebelling. Over 30 Tory MPs privately warned Rishi Sunak that these disability benefit reforms were political suicide. Many of them have vulnerable seats in constituencies where disability support is vital. They feared losing re-election. One MP was quoted anonymously saying, "If we betray disabled people now, we lose what's left of our moral ground." The message was clear: either drop the plan or face a rebellion from within. This internal pressure led to a rare government retreat. The Department for Work and Pensions quietly announced that no immediate cuts would happen, and that any changes would go through long consultations first. In short, they backed down, but very quietly. Now let's zoom out. This story isn't just about one policy or one country. It reveals something bigger. In times of economic stress, governments worldwide are redefining who deserves help. And in doing so, they're drawing invisible lines between the deserving and undeserving poor. That's a dangerous mindset, because disability is complex. It's not always visible. It doesn't always follow neat medical charts. Mental health, chronic pain, neurodivergence, these are real, disabling conditions that are often misunderstood. Using AI tools, surveillance, and efficiency logic to judge whether someone deserves help or not, that opens a dark path. We're entering a phase where tech is being used to redraw moral lines, and this UK case might be just the beginning. And if you've made it this far, maybe consider subscribing to Mr. America, where we uncover not just what's happening but why it's happening, and what it means for people like you and me. The UK government might have backed down for now, but the language they used, independence, efficiency, reform, that's still very much alive. And that language is being copied in countries across Europe, North America, and even Asia. So the real question isn't just, will the UK cut disability benefits? It's this: what happens when governments start deciding that technology has made you independent enough to not need help? What happens when compassion is replaced by algorithms? That's the deeper suspense we're left with, And that's something we all need to watch, because it might reach your country next. So what do you think? Was this just political posturing before an election, or a glimpse into a scarier future? Comment below. Your perspective matters more than ever. And if you value content that's honest, human first, and deeply researched, then please like, share, and subscribe to Mr. America. Together we'll keep asking the hard questions, and staying curious in a world that often prefers silence. See you in the next one.